I could get in on Dan's legs.
Sammy Henson doesn't have rugs, they're too soft.
I got the Gorilla Hulk.
And I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong.
I like it. Ramos. You can't call us hillbillies, Mr. Taylor.
I don't ever bet against Kyle Day.
They just started having like Peppelman babies.
David Taylor's the man.
Lee started shouting from the heels that I call Chris Taylor a big fat guy. Including the Cooperman autographed jockstrap Roper tweeted about today. Let's do it. McGraw.
All I'm gonna say is you're not wearing a tutu. That's all I'm saying.
Clarification.
It was too quick, I know. I'm just busting his chops. It was too fast.
I, as you guys know, am a fashionista / prima donna, so therefore picking out a tutu is not just picking out a tutu. I got to get fitted, and I got to make sure my complexion matches.
And that's hard, because most tutus are pink, and look at this.
Oh, my thing is if I put a pink tutu on, it might look like I'm naked. You won't know what's skin or what's not skin. But hey, big shout out to everybody who jumped on board, because every wrestling fan apparently that followed us wants to see me in scantily clad clothing.
And true story, I don't know how this got wrapped in there. I'm just working away to yesterday, didn't know what was going on, didn't know anything about it, saw all the interaction. I was like, sweet, Cliff's gonna have to wear a tutu. And somehow I got thrown in and I gotta wear a lobster suit now, and nobody even knew about it.
We gotta have a lobster suit challenge. But hey, all that aside, that was the power of social media. I love the wrestling community. Appreciate you following us. But if you've been under a rock for the last couple weeks, you missed a lot of things. But you also don't know Iowa, Oklahoma State, sir.
It doesn't get any better. The two most storied history programs on the planet. Real quick, number of NCAA titles from Oklahoma State plus the number of NCAA titles from Iowa, divide by 3 times the square root of 4.
It's about 72.8% of all NCAA titles ever won.
Pretty good call. Good percentages there. So getting it started, we're going to run this down pretty quick. He's got to get on the road. He's going up to
Philo with some crushers!
Yeah, some hammers, man. So 120. This is going to be a great duel, man. I think it's really close, and there's some swing matches that are going to make it go either way. I'm probably going to end up siding with Carver Hawkeye. It's just a tough place to wrestle. So when I got down to those tough toss-up matches, I normally went with the Iowa guys.
Best memory from wrestling is Carver Hawkeye. Just like a tiny memory, not like something big. What was like something that you didn't think about Carver Hawkeye going into it when you wrestled and you walked out and you're like, huh. It might have been like the urinal cakes had like, I don't know, somebody's face on them
just
or something.
The history hits you, man, when you go in that place and you look around and think of all that's happened in there. Like, you're a wrestling fan and you realize all that's going on in that place. It's pretty historical.
I was looking for something cool, like there's a Tom Brand shrine somewhere in the sauna or something like that.
I'm not that creative, man. That's your gig. I'm not that good. So 125, we've got Killamara against Gilman. Gilman's really coming into his own. That's your guy. I'll let you talk about it.
Dude, I will say this. Skeptic, I'm a fan now. I'm a fan after seeing not just his Midlands, but I'll tell you, the biggest thing we always harp guys on is how they improve throughout the season. Iowa hadn't wrestled the toughest schedule. Oklahoma State's definitely wrestled the tougher competition. Every time I see Gilman wrestle, he's tougher, he's better in every position, a little bit more, a little bit more. He keeps this pace by March. Who knows what we're talking about him at?
Yeah, I mean, he's really stingy with his defense, and he's starting to find more leg attacks now. Got a little bit of outside stuff going with some of his shots. Like I say, he keeps finding that offense, man. His defense is so good. He's going to be hard to handle. Clemera had a pretty good Southern Scuffle. I know he didn't place, but, man, that tournament's so tough. He put a beating on Earl Hall, fastest man alive, 9-1. Anybody that can score 9 points on Earl Hall is pretty daggum good. But I just think Gilman's defense is too tough here. He's riding that hot streak. I'm going to say, I think it's going to be close, though. Clemara's got some good attacks, and he stays outside the tie, so I don't think it's going to be a really high point scoring thing for Gilman. He's just not that tough on top yet, and he's not an offensive neutral dynamo. So I think it's going to be a pretty close match, maybe 5-2, something like that, 4-2. I'm going to go with Gilman, and I'm going to say it's 3-0 Hawkeyes.
I'm right there with you. I honestly, this whole duel I got pretty stock. I think there might be one match that we're going to see bonus in.
Got to pick one upset, man. You just got to do it.
It's definitely not going to be 133. To me, a year ago, this match is lopsided now, and I'm not even factoring in the fact that...
It was close last year, wasn't it? It was close. I think it was maybe 2 points. It was a close match. Ramos didn't roll him up, man.
You're right, it was. You're right, it was. Because
he got him, he almost had him buried with the snake
right.
and then dropped back to the single leg.
Well, on paper, this match was here last year, even though when they wrestled, it was close. I would say, especially with Morrison coming off a scuffle. First off, we got quick offshoot. We're not going to do a ton of offshoots. How much credit are you taking to Gillibon making the finals? That scuffle.
A lot, man. He wrestled tough.
No, I'm saying you.
What's that?
You blasted him in the preview. I
sure.
take credit for all kind of people's success. How much credit are you taking for coaching Gillibon up?
I'm pretty sure the training in the room had a little bit more to do with that. I'm not that good. I'm not that good of a coach that I can coach through a video.
Coaching via the preview.
I can't do it.
Telling you, there's something there.
I'm not that talented.
Morrison, to me, looked about as good as he's ever looked. Wrestled a great final, great outside motion. I didn't get to see him wrestle a ton, but love watching that kid wrestle.
He is just solid, man. He's solid. Doesn't have any weaknesses. He can wrestle in the tie and bang. He's good outside the tie. He can get off bottom. He's a pretty underrated mat wrestler. He's good at getting off the bottom, and he rides pretty well, man. He's just a solid wrestler. I enjoy watching him wrestle. Not too many holes in his game.
No, and even if we see the best Ramos we can see, I'm still picking Morrison. I think this is. I don't think this is it's an important match. I don't know necessarily if we're swing match yet, because I think 99% of the people are going to pick Ramos. But everybody was like, man, I don't want to wrestle Ramos after what happened to Shop. And Cologne said,
I'm not going to say there's two different Tony Ramoses, because it's not true. But it's a little bit like Kyle Dake. You don't bet against Tony Ramos in Carver Hawkeye Arena. He's never lost there.
True.
Never dropped a match in Carver. So
Timo J.
Tony Ramos, I'm gonna get it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Not maybe Morrison's too good for it to be a riding time point. I'm gonna say it's one more. It's gonna be a fun match, man. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna go Ramos here, 6-0 Hawkeyes.
I think there's gonna be some near misses and some good. I don't want to say scrambles, but I think there's gonna be some good action.
Oh, there's gonna be some good scrambles in this one, definitely.
Kalika, Jeva. Another one of those people for me who's kind of like was Gilman. I was kind of like, I don't know.
I told you,
Jeva's coming along now, and got third at the Midlands. That was kind of, I guess some people are calling out his breakout. He had beat was it Durso?
Can you call Jeva squirrely? Is that a good adjective?
He would probably want to argue with you on squirrely.
But
to me,
squirrely
can apply to the guy
that's masculine squirrel with fangs and blood hanging off of his fangs. Just
a vampire
really
squirrel.
Yeah, like a vampire.
Because when you just call somebody squirrely, I think of the guy that tries to get 10 cents of me at the 7-Eleven every morning.
Cam Squirrely.
My son?
C-Ron Squirrely.
He's squirrely in a lot of ways, but yeah, no, wrestling style squirrely. Just calling somebody squirrely in general, just it might be dirty and have a hairy face and beg for money.
No. He's different,
you're saying
man.
Squirrely, wrestling squirrely. I'll give you that.
He's crafty. He finds his takedowns. He's got a really sick little duck under that, man. I'd never really seen him.
One of the better scramblers on Iowa.
DSJ is probably the best one. It's hard to.
DSJ, I think, he's more good. He's got good defense,
man. That Joker can scramble. He comes out on top of a lot of scrambles. His scrambles are just really short because he's so good at it, I think, anyway. But Jev is exciting, man. He's got some upper body stuff. He's got that good duck under. We've talked about how tough he is on top. I watched Kalika a pretty good bit at the Scuffle. This dude's going to have a great career ahead of him, man. He's just young, and Young and Carver Hawkeye can be really tough. So to me, this is one of the swing matches. This is where the duel's going to be won or lost for either team.
I just changed my pink box and put it next to Jeva.
You're gonna go Jeva. All right, I'm gonna.
I had him. I had Kalika.
Rodriguez and Kalika are similar, and he dropped that match to Rodriguez, style-wise similar.
Carver Hawkeye gets the nod. If this is a Okie State,
I don't know what to do.
I'm gonna put a clock on you.
Jeva.
All right.
I've just
that was quick.
Fandom. I'm a fan of Jeva, man.
And
Enjoyed that guy since Super 32.
now
9-0. God, I can't believe it. 9-0. All right.
to me, I think if there's going to be bonus in a match, I think this is where Oklahoma State could definitely get it.
Going bonus here.
I'm all the way fully back on my Ken Dig bandwagon. Life's a garden, Ken Dig it.
Dude, he is Jack Diesel
He
now,
is a
man.
big 49-pounder.
He walked next to me at the scuffle, and I was like,
yeah.
did I ever say anything bad about him? I hope not.
No, I was expecting to get the same look Gulabon gave you, but I didn't. Maybe I just
paint me as a Gulabon hater, dude.
Dude, Gulabon cut eyes at you, son. I think Ken Dig can get on a roll here. Not to say that Grothus or Kelly, whoever they throw out there, is not going to put up a fight, but Ken Dig can pour on points. And once the match keeps going and he starts getting a rhythm, doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, it could be 8-1-ish, something crazy, because he's good on the mat, too. He's good on top.
Great analysis from Christian Piles. I'm going to give him credit. I think it was Christian that did it. I think it was somebody at Flow. Grothus likes to go upper body sometimes when he gets struggle and jack up some underhooks, and that is not a smart thing to do with Ken Dig, because, I mean, he's great with that little slip high crotch, and he'll go up top, no problem. He's very explosive.
I'm gonna let you talk about. So who you got?
I'm going Ken Dig Major.
I got Ken Dig Major, and I didn't add that in there, so that's gonna be
9-4.
Now I'll let you talk about Derringer. I saw that many of Derringer's matches at the scuffle.
Got correction. It's not Derringer.
It's Derringer. That's what.
Derringer. Sorry for mispronouncing your name.
Derringer's so much cooler because it sounds like a gun.
I like Derringer. It's a little bit different, man. I'm
just gonna say Derringer.
Man, he is solid in all positions. He's good on his feet, man. He's got that good little barrel roll dump, single leg. He'll pull the trigger on some upper body stuff. He hit a dirty double overhook step around. He's a killer on the mat. I didn't realize how good that dude was on top till I watched all his matches at Scuffle. I was just lucky enough I was on the mat. He is a hammer on top, man.
Let me ask you this, though. Was it that Ian Miller was having that good of a tournament, or is Derringer not in that elite class to where he can put it on those good guys?
I think Ian Miller's in that class. I think Ian's just jumped a level. Like I said, I think St. John, Derringer were way up there. I think Ian Miller just jumped over a few guys, and dude, he gets on a roll and gets hot. Nobody is safe wrestling him. Ever.
Talk about having fun. You can just be around Ian Miller at a tournament. He's having fun. He's not as crazy out of it as Kilgore. I think Kilgore just sometimes didn't realize the pressure of the situation, and that helped him. But Ian Miller's just there having fun. Not to get off on a tangent, but I just wanted to see where your thought was on where Derringer is at and played out with the scuffle. It was a 7-6 match. It went, was it sudden victory or?
No, that was Robuto. That was Robuto. It was like 2-1 or something like that.
Something close. Tiebreaker.
Yeah, wrote him out. Or got away.
But that being said, as big a Iowa hater as people try to paint me, DSJ I think is, I don't want to say unbeatable, and the number one is the Chunky Soup Curse this season, but I don't think you see DSJ or David Taylor dropping their spot at all this year.
Derringer's going to win.
All right.
That's a mild upset. And the reason I'm going to say it's a mild upset because they're wrestling at Carver Hawkeye and Derek St. John's that good there. Trying to get Kaiser up in the preview. Kaiser's having none of it.
He's just going to bounce around down here like a ping pong ball.
I'm going to say Derringer's got it, man. So that's going to make it 7-9 Iowa.
I think it's going to be
match of the duel right here.
I think that's going. I was about to say I think that's going to be an unbelievable match, even if it's low scoring. But it's going to be a fun match to watch. I just think DSJ's too doggone good right now.
What I'm looking for is, can Derringer finish his single legs on St. John? That's going to be the toughest thing, and vice versa. Can St. John finish his single legs on Derringer? They're both so good single leg defense.
That's what I was about to say.
Whoever
defense.
Whoever wins that single leg battle, I think is going to win the match, and I'm going with Derringer on this one.
But the cruddy, not to say the cruddy part, but I think one thing that's going to be, the one thing that I don't think is going to be a factor is both these guys are hammers on top, but I think they equalize each other as how good they are on bottom. Derringer is a monster with his bars on top. DSJ's
can ride anybody.
Yeah, can ride anybody. So I think that's a non-factor. It's going to be a neutral match, which is great for the fans. Tyler Caldwell, You know, I almost got crazy and said bonus here.
Oh, yeah, that would be crazy.
But, guy looks so good at the scuffle. And I think getting beat, the score, yeah, kind of, I think Taylor's maybe that much better. But I know Caldwell's super, super elite level wrestler. I don't know how much more Taylor is better than him, but the score made it look like he's 1,000 times better than him. But Caldwell's stinking good. Almost good enough for me to put him bonus here, but
he's the best defensive wrestler in college right now, and that's not a knock.
Taylor had a hard time scoring on him.
Man, he is so good at pulling in close ties and slowing guys down. He's tough to score on, man, and he's tough on the mat. He's just a hard guy to beat. I went back and I looked at his NCAA brackets this morning. He might have had some of the toughest weight classes at the top end, not depth-wise, but at the top end in the history of the sport. Just some unbelievable guys in his weight since he's been wrestling.
What was that Jordan Burroughs tweeted out who all the people were in his bracket his freshman year a couple weeks ago? I'm just looking at it just like, good Lord, it was a who's who.
That's the toughest bracket I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was insanity.
That I've been alive for. Some of you wrestling historians, drop some tough brackets down in there.
Yeah. Well, what's some of the toughest NCAA brackets in the last 20 years?
Make me smarter.
Last 20 years. Now. And I had my Chris Perry shirt laid out this morning.
I was talking about Nick Moore, dude. We're not done.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Moore.
No, I picked my guy. I'm sorry. But you're right.
He's runner-up at the Midlands.
It's hard to hide sometimes.
Beat Massa by like 4-3. Beat up Pierce Harger pretty good. Then he lost to Monk. And I say you, man, it kind of showed maybe a little bit of a weakness. He had a hard time getting away from Monk. Monk did that kind of draping, far headlock ride.
Stall ride?
Yeah. I mean, Monk tries to turn off it, though. He's ripping the guy back, trying to get points. So I don't know if he's really stalling with it. And it's not tight around the guy's head.
Did he hit it from his feet one time?
He's just loose, man, and he's controlling down with the elbow. So Caldwell's really tough at riding, man, and I'm going to say it's a riding time point that wins the match.
Ooh.
That's what wins, riding time point. Because I don't think you're scoring on Caldwell. Probably 2-0. I can see it being a 2-0 match. Maybe 4-0. Caldwell gets in on a shot and finishes.
If Nick Moore had a little bit more offense,
I don't think he scores on him.
I just, man, that's going to be tough.
So that makes it 10-9. The duel's getting heated. It's getting tight.
Now here comes some horses.
Yes.
We got three-time All-American Lofthouse.
Yes, 3-time.
3-time All-American, and that's, to me, when I see that, it's just like, yeah, Lofthouse is. I know him because there's been a lot of Lofthouses in Iowa, but he's not this big-time name all the time to me, like doesn't get talked about as much. He's a superstar. He's a 3-time All-American. It's crazy to be a 3-time All-American, even 4-time. I have a chance to be a 4-time. But, like I said, had my shirt out this morning. I was going to rip off the shirt I had on top. Chris Perry's shirt was going to be under. Ruin the whole skit. Chris Perry, to me, is wrestling about as good as I've ever seen that kid wrestle. I think he really took some things he felt like he left on the mat last year at the NCAA tournament, and pressure's off. He's got his title. He wants to get another one, but it's a senior year. He's going to have a ton of fun, score a ton of points. And, man, this is going to be a good match, but I don't think Chris Perry has a problem winning here. I really don't.
I'm going Perry, too.
The fact that he scored on the mat, on Matt Brown, tells me his game's gotten a ton better.
You just really confused me. I had to collect my thoughts there. He jumped up to 84 and was talking about Lofthouse. It's Mike Evans that Perry's going to be wrestling.
Bad. That's my bad. I'm all over the place.
So I'll talk about Evans a little bit, man. He's a hammer on top, man. He's going to get his legs in and crunch. But really what I've seen is he's only going to turn kind of the guys he should be turning, the guys that are about at his level. Sometimes they struggle getting away, but he has trouble turning them.
Sales are jacked sideways.
And he's a real good hand fighter and likes to push on his feet, but I think Perry's got too many skills for him. I'm going Perry. Pretty
Evans
easy.
had a crazy Midlands, though, man. He trained through Midlands.
Yeah, but I don't know how tough that bracket was. Not to take it away, all these guys are studs, man, but as far as looking at the Midlands brackets and what they're supposed to be, because who did he wrestle in the finals? Columbia guy. Hughes, I think his name was. I hadn't seen him wrestle a whole lot. I'm going to go back and try and catch some of his matches. Was unseeded, made the finals at Midlands. That's who he saw. But I think Perry's just got too many tools, and like you said, he's wrestling too well right now. He's going out on a win in his last match in Carver.
I'm such a Perry fan, I had him beating Lofthouse.
Yeah, just bumping up on him and beating him.
My cells are messed up. My bad. And I'm not very smart at the same time. Boyd, Lofthouse. Now, we just talked about Lofthouse. Do you see this as a chance for Iowa to maybe get bonus here over Boyd? I mean, it's not like Boyd's a slouch. They got quite a few horses in the stable at 184 at Iowa, or at 184 at Oklahoma State. Boyd gets the call.
Dude, Nolan Boyd's pretty stinking good.
No, I'm not saying he's not good, but I'm talking about a 3-time All-American versus number 17 ranked guy.
But he's got a lot of talent. He likes to score a lot of points, but he does have some holes in his game. Now that I'm thinking about it, man, you might be right. I could see Lofthouse getting on a roll here, rolling with some takedowns, and maybe I could see him getting 3 takedowns and escaping a riding time point. I could see that. 4 takedowns.
Ha! Mental ninja.
I could see it. There's a chance, and Boyd will go up top too. He's not one of those guys that just kind of sits back. He's going to attack the whole time. He's tough on top too, man. But I think Lofthouse is too much for him here, man. He's been wrestling too well. Got second at Midlands. Got a win over Bernstein. Lost to Sheptock in the finals. So I think I'm going. I think I'm going Lofthouse. Cliff just got scolded.
I got yelled at. I was trying to get my big fat dog in the preview, but apparently he weighs too much. And I'm off my workout. So you said Lofthouse bonus?
No, I'm going decision.
Because to me, the way I score this, if Lofthouse can get bonus here and nothing else crazy happens in the duel, it's tied 16 apiece for me at the end. But I got it 16-15, Okie State. Orange. Now,
I can't go bonus there. I don't know.
Roshaw, 5th at the scuffle. Win over Matthias. Benacorsi, Cox, lost to Schiller by fall. And then we
Schiller
got...
looked good.
Yeah, Schiller did look good. Burak, 3rd at Midlands. He beat Penny. Close loss to Boley, who is a gigantic man in his own right. To me, I think this is one of the more even matches in the duel. Not just because they're ranked close, just because of kind of the competition they beat and the kind of competition they've lost to throughout the year. I didn't get to see Roshaw wrestle, but just once at the scuffle. I guess my best way I can describe it is solid. He's really not opening up and scoring a ton of points in one position over the other, but I got Roshaw taking this home. I think this is the match. If they start at normal weight, which I'm sure they are, both those guys are pretty old school and don't like starting at a weird weight. I think this kind of seals the deal. This the nail in the coffin, breaks the back. Doesn't matter what happens at heavyweight. Decision, Roshaw.
I think I'm going to go Burak here, man. Because I think you're right on, man. It is locked up as tight as it gets. These two guys are pretty even. They've had similar results. Probably give the nod to Roshaw. He's All-American in the past, so you can't knock that. But Carver Hawkeye, man.
How many Roshalts are there? The 3 brothers?
Yeah, 3 of them, I believe.
Is the other 2 both fighting or just?
I don't know.
But
I think I'm gonna go Burak here, and I lost track of my score.
Nah, that's why I did pink squares.
You can do the
so
math
I wouldn't forget. I will say this: Marsden was a good referee away from making the finals at the scuffle.
That was pretty ridiculous.
No Penn State hate at all. Obviously, if you guys watched the preview,
lost in the quarters. Though.
It was at the quarters.
Yeah.
All right. To me, no, it wasn't quarters because me and you did the semis together.
And we didn't do that match. It was the quarters.
All right. Sure. All right, cool. Whatever. I got a bad memory. Anyways. Oh, yeah, 5 of them. Anyways, I think he wins that match. He looked great in that match. He wrestled about as good as he could. Refs just were, I mean, they were not calling stalemates. They weren't calling stalling. It was pretty bad in that match. But to me, I think he ended up 5th. Lost to Johnson, lost to Lawson. That's the match I'm talking about, the tiebreaker. Telford, meanwhile, 2nd at the scuffle. Coon gets him with a little peek out from his butt that I've never seen before. In a cradle, just because he's a gigantic man horse. I think Telford's that much better than Marsden right now.
I think he's that much better.
You think he's that much better?
Marston's going to be all right, man. He's going to be a tough heavyweight. He's just a year away. Telford's one of the best guys. He could win a national title at heavyweight, and I wouldn't be surprised. He's one of the elite guys. I got Telford pretty comfortably here.
Comfortably?
Yeah.
Major comfortably?
No, not major.
You just said you're getting a major.
Not out of the realm of possibilities. I could see Bobby Telford getting a major. He's so good on top, man. He could turn.
But I'm going A plus B equals C, and I probably shouldn't. Lawson.
A plus B equals C does not apply in Carver Hawkeye Arena.
I agree
A plus
with
C
you.
equals 3.5.
I agree with you, but I got, in my mind, Marsden won the match against Lawson. In my mind, Lawson had Telford completely on the ropes, done, and then just kind of did a stupid move and gave up a reversal. So that's why I say they're that close.
What do you always say? Styles make fights.
Styles make fights, you're
especially
right.
at heavyweight.
Styles make fights. You're in Carver Hawkeye Arena. You can put a couple more gold stars in the advantage column for Iowa, but I think this match is going to be a lot closer than you're saying. If you're saying that much, then that's borderline major, if not 5-6 points.
I think it's comfortable.
4-2.
Whatever comfortable means to you, that's what I'm
3-1.
saying. Comfortable.
3-1.
Comfortable.
If you're not watching the Big Ten Network and watching this duel or watching it online or having somebody FaceTime it on their video, on their TV screen because you're too cheap to get the Big Ten Network, doggone it, do it!
It's going to be a great duel.
We're out.